Leonardson here, President and CEO of Transform Culinary Solutions. Today we're going to do a really exciting meal. So I learned this from a chef and it just is such a cool thing. So we got pork tenderloin here. We're going to wrap it in bacon because everything's so good with bacon. And then we've got some delicious vegetables we're going to do. This is a one pot or one pan kind of dish. So we're going to make some roasted sweet potato succotash, and we're gonna roast these organic red carrots with spring onions and asparagus that's in season right now, with some yellowneck squash, and then I have fresh herbs from the garden. I've got rosemary, I've got sage, a little bit of dill, and I've got some garlic. So then we're gonna finish it and make this delicious sauce with some maple syrup, and then I'm gonna use First Love, my boy, Chef Stephen Beatty, with Pop Secret seasoning. It's got the pink Himalayan salt and black pepper right in it, ready to go. So to start, what I do, heat up the pan. I love a cast iron because you can do it all in one pot. And then what we're gonna do is add a little bit of oil to the pan. It could be canola. I like a little bit of olive oil mixed with canola actually. And then I've got a wedge of butter here we're gonna talk about in a second. This is some pork tenderloin, and we're gonna season it first. So this is what I love about the Pops, is you get this even distribution right over the pork, because you wanna season that. Then it's good when you're wrapping with bacon to pull it out like 20 minutes ahead of time, so that it stretches. That's what we really want. And so I'm gonna take this pork tenderloin and I'm gonna wrap it with the bacon. And as I wrap it, I'm gonna stretch. And I wanna get as much of the pork wrapped completely encased in the bacon. So go as tight as you can around it. And then what'll happen is when we're searing it, the bacon will almost squeeze the pork together. It's almost like, it acts like butcher twine, really, on holding like a roast together. That's what the bacon does. It'll squish it together and actually hold a lot of the moisture into it. So around and around, it looks like it's probably gonna be about 6 different strips of bacon on there. We got one more here. And now you can see the smoke is starting to come up on the pan. That's exactly what we want. We want to make sure that we're seeing a little bit of smoke before we put it in. Then push it all kind of together, make sure that the bacon is adhesive to it, pack it together, squish it, and then we're gonna just go right into the pan, just like that. And now I'm gonna take my gloves off because we're gonna do the vegetables. Down to about a medium low, because I want to caramelize it on all the sides. But while that's going on, we have to start to peel our potatoes. Use a peeler, peel your sweet potatoes. And sweet potatoes and yams, whatever you buy is fine. I just like the nice orange ones. And then I'm just gonna make sure the bacon's not burning. And it's not, you can see it's starting to caramelize. That's what we want, right? So we'll go a little bit more. And then with the sweet potato, so you always look for a flat spot on the potato naturally. And then what you do is cut the top off, and then you can create a little bigger flat spot so you don't cut yourself and the potatoes don't roll around. And what we're gonna do is a large dice. So I'm cutting it so that I can do little strips, stack it together, just like that. And then I'm gonna cut it into my large dice. And you're probably thinking like, how's this gonna be finished? Well, we're gonna finish it in the oven. So then I'm gonna flip it so you can see it's starting to caramelize a little bit. We're gonna turn up the heat. And now I'm gonna add my sweet potatoes right into the pan. You can hear it starting to sizzle. Let's get our other ingredients. So these are some organic red carrots. They're heirloom carrots. These are just absolutely gorgeous. I like them for the color too, so cut the tops off. Can't really eat the tops of the carrots. But what I like to do is keep the carrots whole. So these have been washed. You could peel them, but I just wash them because I like to keep that nice red color. And then I'm gonna cut it in half. And look at that. Isn't that cool? So then with the carrots, I'm gonna actually just tuck them over here in the corner so they'll roast and get some of that bacon color on it. And then we've got asparagus here. So how to know where to break the asparagus. So it'll naturally break exactly where it's tender. So as I pull here and I bend, that's where it's tender. So here, you're getting the gristle and the stem part of the asparagus, so that goes in the stock. That's a perfect asparagus there. So then once I do that, I generally will stack them up since they're basically the same and then cut them there. This is great for stock. Then with asparagus, I'm gonna leave those whole, but we're gonna add those at the end because those cook really fast. And then we've got some spring onions, but we're gonna stir this around. Okay, you're starting to see some caramelization happen on the potatoes. Then we're gonna flip this one more time because we wanna keep searing it. Stir the carrots a little bit. Then with the spring onions, I'm gonna slice this white part on the onion, and I'm gonna add that right to the sweet potatoes, right? And then I'm gonna take some garlic. So this is some garlic, and I can pull it right off the husk. And then I'm going to smash it with my knife, and it'll pop right out. Then we're just gonna run the knife through, just like this. And I'm gonna keep it actually whole. I'm not gonna chop it any more than that, but I'm gonna add it to my carrot side right over here, okay? Then I'm gonna take a wedge of butter, so everything's better in butter, and I'm gonna put it on that carrot side. And I'm gonna put a wedge of butter on the potato side here, all while I'm searing this. Then fresh herbs, wonderful with this dish. We're gonna definitely use some sage. Sage goes really well with pork. Rosemary, amazing. I picked some fresh dill, but we might use that as a little garnish with some lemon zest at the very end, so it adds a little freshness to it. But what I'm gonna do is actually just leave the rosemary whole, and I'm actually just gonna tuck it kind of right under the pork so it starts to kind of perfume. And I'm gonna do the same thing with this sage. So I'm gonna tuck it in on the other side here. Then I'm gonna stir it a little bit more. I'm starting to get some caramelization. Let's see how the pork's doing. Yep, starting to brown on that side. See how the bacon's still adhering to it. Then, this is just about ready for the oven, but I'm gonna get ready my lemon zest. So I'm gonna peel off some zest, just like 3 strips. Then from here, I'm actually going to roll it up like a chiffonade. So I'm rolling up my lemon zest, just like that. Then I'm gonna run my knife through as thin as I can get it with the lemon zest. And this is gonna be a wonderful garnish with our fresh dill. You can kind of see like that freshness with the dill. And then from here, now we're gonna pop it in a very hot oven. So I'm gonna set the oven at 450 degrees. And we're gonna go right into the oven. And you'll see that that butter will melt, and then you'll see some caramelization. But I love it, it's like, look how colorful that is already. Just beautiful. So we'll turn that off, and then we'll go in the oven. Right here. It'll probably take about 20 minutes, and pork you want to cook to, I like to cook it to 150 degrees, and then make sure you let it rest for like 10 minutes. So we'll let that cook, and we'll be right back, and then we'll show you the plate up on it. All right. Look at that. The sizzle. We got the nice roast on the carrots, the asparagus, because we added it the last second. We got the sweet potatoes, they're cooked. So then, we'll check the temp. So one little trick too in pushing meat, and this works for this too, is if it's rare, you push between your thumb and pointer, and that's rare. And then you would let it rest, right? And then medium rare is this, medium is this, medium well is here, and well is here. And it's pushing about medium right now, which is good. And normally I'd let it rest a little bit, but for TV magic, we're gonna slice it here. So then I'm gonna pull the beautiful roast right there. That thing looks great. And it temped perfect, so we're good. Then now I've got this delicious, vegetable medley here. I'm gonna pull out the herbs that were on the bottom because that's not edible. So we'll put that in here. And then I like to finish this with a little bit of butter again. So we're gonna take a tiny wedge of butter, give it a little creaminess, okay? And then I'm gonna take a little bit of the lemon zest. I'm gonna pop that in there to give it a pop of flavor, but I'll save some for a garnish. Then stir that butter in so it creates a little bit of the sauce. But I don't wanna mix the carrots and the asparagus in because that's gonna be part of our garnish. And then, while that's resting, then we're gonna take our sweet potatoes and our yellow squash and put that down on the plate first, right, for the color. Just like that. It smells so good. And you could get probably 3 portions of that. Then I'm gonna take our asparagus, and I want to show the beauty of it. So we'll put 3 spears that way. This smells so good. And then we're gonna do the carrots this way. And we'll do one facing up, one facing down. Look at that nice roasted carrot, just like that. That's beautiful. Then to slice this, so I'm gonna cut this little part here because it doesn't have the bacon on it. And then what we're gonna do, we're gonna slice. And I like to hold it with some tongs. And depending on how tight you wrapped it, the bacon may stay on, but if it falls off, that's okay because you get all that delicious flavor in it. So you can see that's like a perfect medium right there. That is beautiful. So this part is like, now we're getting into the big part and the bacon is staying on that, which is good. It smells so good. So I'm gonna slice all the way through. You saw I touched that pan, that was hot. So then what I do is I still just take a little butter. I put like 2 wedges of butter in here. I mean, everything is better with butter. Then I go back to the pops and I season just a little bit more so that the salt and pepper goes in between. So we get that pops on there. And then I'm gonna add some maple syrup and just drizzle that over it so it goes all in between the pieces. And then I want that butter to coat those pieces. Then I'm gonna take a portion. I'm gonna go right up on top and just do a little bit of that au cheval, which means to fan it. So it's nice, it's probably about a 5-ounce portion there of the protein. And then a little bit more of the maple syrup just on the plate garnish. So you got the flavor because I want to sweeten up those vegetables. And then for garnish, so I'll put just a little zest so you get that nice pop of the flavor right on top. And then this dill, the reason I want the dill on there is only for the smell. That with the maple and the lemon is just an incredible smell. So I want that to sit right up on the top of that, and it looks beautiful. So there is our bacon wrapped pork tenderloin with sweet potatoes, roasted vegetables, and maple syrup. Enjoy.